Hello everybody, here is an update of the growth of the avocado seeds that I had planted. Now it has been 1 year now since I had planted it in the soil, and I had made some update videos along the way, but now this is a 1 year anniversary and I like to show the progress that it had made. And let's start from the end here. Okay, so as you remember from my other videos, I had labeled these plants uh, with um, uh, with numbers that I had associated with the cups that these seeds were in. Okay, so if you saw my older videos, let's start with the first one out here at the end, the one that is tilted to the right here. This one is seed number 5, and it was a seed which didn't have a whole lot of roots when we had planted it, but it had grown the tallest when it was in the cup. And then when we placed it out here at the very end, it does get exposed to direct sunlight during the late afternoon because as you can see right here, the sun is going to creep in, and I had this plant turned 90 or 180 degrees. So you can see that it had bent towards the sunlight. And now I've turned it the other way because I wanted to get straightened out. So also we've noted that for this pot, we used a potting mix called Vigoro. So I guess it's a non-brand name potting mix, and it had grown pretty well. Notice that leaves are growing on the top and not so much on the stem. And later on I'll show you the pot in which we used the Miracle Grow potting soil and compare that plant with this. Okay, the next one here is what I call the plant from the seed from the black pot. So this black pot plant was a seed which had split open. So when I was removing it from the cup, I accidentally squeezed the seed together and it split apart. But I pushed them together while planting it, and it looks like it's growing pretty well. It's growing straight. We're having little growths come out from here. The weather's been really warm lately, so it's not quite summer yet. It's still beginning of June, but we've had several days or weeks of very hot weather. So been watering them about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, but I'll try to water them more often because when it gets hot, I guess it'll need more water. Another thing about this first one, I think in my other video I mentioned that the gardener, when he comes by with his blower, had blown the seed over, and at that time I had noticed that there were no roots growing. So what I did was I buried it so that when he does blow, it doesn't blow the root out of the soil. Okay, so this one here looks like there's 2 stems. I think it was always 2 stems. Well, here it is. It V's off over here, and there's 2 big stems here. A lot of little growth on the second one, and there's some growth on here. Okay, so this second one was also planted in the Vigoro potting mix. Then over to number 3. Number 3 and this clay pot, the next one here, were planted in a half soil mix along with some cactus mix, because when I was removing it from their smaller pots, I noticed that the roots had grown very easily because the cactus mix was looser, so that it gives the roots a better chance of spreading out. So for this one, I noticed that some of the leaves here are pretty glossy, very shiny. So don't know whether that's product of the potting soil, or the cactus mix in the potting soil, or whether it's just a seed that's like that. So this is growing out. The leaves are a lot bigger, very nice. I like this. And we get little leaves coming up from the top as well. Okay, so this one is number 3. And this one also from the clay pot. It's not growing as tall, but it's going wide. So as you've seen here, some of the leaves that were sunburned from when I placed it out in the sun ages ago is healing. And the leaves are healthy. It's not drooping as with all of these. If you notice my older videos, when I first planted them into the large planter, a lot of the leaves were drooping, and I think that was because I had watered it as much. But I like the new growth coming out from here as well, up on top and up on top over here. So both of these were planted in a mixture of cactus mix along with the Vigoro potting soil. So it's like I mentioned before, and I like how they are progressing. Okay, this last one, plant number 4, or seed number 4, that was planted in Miracle-Gro. So it's pure Miracle-Gro potting soil. And the difference with this one here is there's a lot of leaves growing from the bottom. Okay, so leaves are growing out from here. I have trouble watering it because I take a little cup and I water it on these, so I have to lift this up. While the other ones, it's very easy for me to just water on top of the seed. Anyway, this one, I guess there's some damage here, but it is growing pretty strong. So like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to compare this with the other potting soil. This is the Miracle-Gro potting soil, and it looks like these leaves here look a little healthier than these leaves, especially since these are going straight up and it's not as thick. The other one is thicker from the bottom. More leaves are growing out from the bottom from that. But anyway, overall, I'm pretty happy with the progress. This is a 1-year anniversary of them being potted in soil. So probably won't be making as many of these videos going forward. Maybe the next one will be 6 months out from here, but that'll be probably in the fall or beginning of winter. So at that time, maybe these will have its summer growth spurt, and we'll see how it goes going into the winter. And yeah, that is all for now. Thank you for watching, and catch you all next time.